while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating.
The BFG is directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Mark Rylance as the big friendly giant himself, and tells the story of a young girl who lives in an orphanage, and she's taken care of by a mistress there and is with a bunch of other girls. And every night at midnight, there will be a giant walking around the city, and everyone will have to be asleep at that exact time to make sure that they don't get taken. She makes the mistake of getting up at that time and gets taken away by the giant to where he lives, and discovers that he might not be as harmful as he may seem. In fact, he's a bit friendly, and Mark Rylance really sells that performance. He is so magnificent in this film. He's like James Halliday if he was a giant. He is so warm-hearted and has a lot of charisma, has a lot of great lines in the film, and is one of the biggest praises I could give to this movie. And also the motion capture work by him, excellent, A+ material. The motion capture here for a lot of the giants in the movie are also really spectacular in the visual look of the film, and the cinematography and all the shots are just so beautiful. It's pure Spielberg magic right there. And that's something that had been missing from him for quite some time, and I thought was captured better in Ready Player One. And also, another thing that I have to praise about the movie is the young girl. She is charming as heck. I loved her character. I love how she is actually a character and not just some kid along for the ride. And the child actor for her, I thought was pretty good. Something that Spielberg is good at is getting good child actors, and she here is no exception. She is magnificent in the film, and I loved her role, and she didn't bother me at all. This movie, though, narratively is similar in some ways, and the story just felt, I would say, bland, and I just didn't care for it, though. And this is where I get into my negatives. This movie is alright. This movie's okay. This is definitely not one of Spielberg's greatest films. And not a lot of people enjoyed this one, and I can understand why. There are also a few funny, humorous moments where it just fall flat. Some of the comedy just doesn't work. Sometimes it does, mostly when Mark Rylance and his interactions with the child and their banter between each other and their chemistry is well done. Some of the stuff with the giant and the subplot where the kid visits a queen and visits a palace, it didn't felt right for some reason to me, and I just lost interest right around the third act when all that stuff happens. And overall, I will say that it also had to do with the pacing. It felt a little bit too rushed, and it felt jarring around the third act, and I just didn't care for the movie at that point, surprisingly. And that is my biggest problem. It just felt rushed. Overall, this is a perfectly fine Spielberg film. I would say that this is not one of his worst, but this is definitely not one of his best either. It's right around the middle. It has great visuals, good acting, and a good second and third act. No, not second. It has a good second and first act, but the third act meanders a little bit, and overall, you can have a fun time, but you're definitely not going to remember this one. I'm going to give the BFG a B-. I was a little disappointed when I first saw it, how it wasn't as great as I hoped it will be, but I still enjoyed myself, and I think a lot of people will too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.